Summertime, summertime. Så du min, og jeg vild med dig. Summertime, summertime. Honey, solen danser, du og jeg. Hver evig eneste morgen, der går jeg i skoven. Jeg tager min gummier på, giver hunden snor og synger tar. Om det regner, sner eller der sol for oven, så bider jeg stille bånd for dig og ønsker dig lykke på vejen. Så nemlig for du vil følges med mig. Fuldmånen stråler ned på dig. Måneskin, måneskin, måneskin. Har solen skinner på din vej. Put den ind, put den ind, put den ind. Summertime, summertime. Så du min, og jeg vild med dig. Summertime, summertime. Honey, solen danser, du og jeg. Hver evig eneste aften til kaffe.
Hi there Capricorn, this is your modern shaman Maria in RainbowLand here with the weekly forecast commencing at the 24th of July, ending at the 31st of July 2018. This is a very, very special forecast, not only because I am at the harbor of Esbjerg Denmark where we have the tall ship race here. And this is a lot of ships and boats, old ships of course, also some of them are younger. I think the oldest one was 50 years old. I'm not quite sure, but I will add this. And they have people from all over the world, like also school boats, so it's also young people on these boats. And they are sailors, you know, you can feel that and sense that. But this week is very essential because we are having a full moon, a lunar eclipse, a blood moon in Aquarius, and it's almost conjuncting Mars, and it's Leo, which is on the other side of this. So this is something to do with your second and your 8th house. Oh, interesting. And it's squaring up there to your 5th house of Taurus, because Uranus is going into this in a grand, not a grand trine, a T-square. So this is interesting, and now someone is moving in front of the camera. That's okay. When you consider that this is not Japan, that would have never happened in Japan, but this is my hometown. I don't mind. But this is just like me already now noticing cultural differences, because he knew I was filming. In Japan that wouldn't have happened, but I think he wanted attention. You just want attention, etc. And now another man is even encouraging his wife and a friend to go in front of, and they're afraid that I'm gonna fall into the ocean, which I won't. Look, this is my newest creation, my newest design from RainbowLand. Today in orange, because we have the sun in Leo. This means that it has something to do with your shared income, your shared resources with other people, your money, your values, and this is coming into conflict with the romantical partner or your children. So you've been struggling with this for some time now, so this is not a new thing for you. So definitely it's bringing changes, and it's also bringing instability for you. You have to allow or accept that there will be sudden changes, because Uranus is involved, and you never know. Suddenly your romantic partner comes and tells you something, and it changes everything again, which you've experienced a lot lately, and then it's not nice for the cabbies, because you rather have some structure in it. But with Pluto there as well, I mean, you haven't had the easiest of times. I know I'm saying that a lot. And now another man was so kind to move around the camera. Yeah, it's something else to sit here out in the open. You will see some boats later on. We also have a Mercury moving retrograde here in your 8th house, so it's definitely time for you to go deep within and search for some soul searching on a very, very deep, profound level, to rethink or re-feel some things. And this Mercury retrograde won't be over until the 2nd of September. When the retrograde is only 3 weeks, more or less, but the whole cycle. So there are some themes going on with this, and the eclipse is also is always longer than that, of course. So that's for half a year until the beginning of January that this will last. So the theme going on now is for you to see that whatever comes into your life to remind you of something or to mirror something to you is definitely there for a reason. You made the plan, and you need to trust that you made this schedule. It's your energy being reflected in the outside world, and it was meant to be there. So it's meant to be there for you to actually reach that point where you can be the highest version, potential version of yourself. And often we cannot be that because we have some errors in our programming, something from our childhood or our earlier lives that are doing so that the real true thing that we want to manifest cannot come to the surface, because the lowest of energies is the one that's kind of like winning the battle when you try to manifest, and that will ruin the thing. So if you still have some programming, some what do you call them, attachments to some things that you keep wanting and you don't get, but you want it, and you don't get it, but you want it, you need to learn to let go and let it come in a way to you after you have released whatever is coming up. You have to trust. It's a matter of trust. It's a matter of trusting the process. So trusting these rough times and knowing that you are getting a lot of gifts at the same time. We have Venus in your 9th house, which is in a good. Someone is looking at me. It's in a good aspect to you, because it's your sister sign of Virgo. We have Venus forming a very, very, very nice aspect to Jupiter in Scorpio. This means, of course, that between your 9th and your 11th house, some good things are going on. You have some good positive plans about the future. You know that your friends will support you, even though your love life may not. There are answers to be to have. There are brightness in the future shining for you, and maybe you need to travel, maybe you need to expand your mind, or you feel urged to do so in some kind of way. Maybe a new teacher comes into your life. But maybe, with the Venus in opposition to Neptune over there in Pisces, in your 3rd house of communication, maybe someone tries to swirl you and sweep you off your feet by communicating something to you in a way where you get into a dreamy state and think that, oh, this is so perfect, but then maybe it isn't so perfect anyways. This is in the start of this month. Now someone is making. So this was a lot of the report. So this was this week's report and a little bit of ships and boats. And this is your modern shaman in Maria and RainbowLand checking out with the. Of course, the South Node and Mars is in your own sector of your own money, the resources that you have built up over time. So there can be some disputes about this. Maybe someone, your partner or someone you're with, have over a long period of time been claiming something that you didn't think was rightfully theirs, or you've been trying to figure out new ways of making your financial situation work in some way, and now you're looking for new solutions, and maybe there's time now for you to say goodbye to a certain pattern of joint finances. So perhaps there is a need for you to look upon, the way that you create finances in a creative way, because it's in Leo. Your 8th house is in Leo. Maybe you need to find new expressions that will lead you to make more money. The thing is that it can also involve your children or the father of your children. Maybe some, again, arguments about how these things need to be dealt with, and probably it's been, something that has been brewing underneath the surface for a while, but it's just coming up now. It can also be good solutions, who knows, hopefully. But a new initiative where you need to look upon it in a new way, probably. And as I said, it can also involve debt of some kind. It can be a loan or for a house or something like that. It can also be things that you share more closely with other people, since it's the 8th house on a very deep level. The 8th house is also deep transformation, that you, perhaps through your creativity, you change something on a very deep level inside of you. You alter the way you consider your children and your inner child in certain ways, the way you express yourself creatively, and you have maybe you have some kind of epiphany regarding a romantic partner or your children, because this is the 5th house of Taurus where we have Uranus. So, and this may be coming into conflict, as I said before, with joint finances and your money, the money you earn as well, personally. But altogether, since we also have Mercury moving retrograde here in your 8th house, it's you reconsidering and dealing with stuff which is very, very deep behind the scenes, or underneath the surface, and something that you need to deal with, and that you actually get some ideas and reconsider how do you manage this this old wound, this old thing, this old karmic, not treasure that you're carrying, but something that needs to perhaps go out with the garbage and be transformed to something new, a new version of you. At the beginning of the week, you will still feel the Venus-Neptune opposition, and this means that maybe there's some artsy thing that you want to see, and you go out to a museum with friends, or spiritually, your world will be broadened by some perspective, because the 9th house, is your belief system, and something will make you dream into another world, and maybe you hang out with some friend, someone who takes you to a place where you or see a movie of some kind, or it could also be that you just have a connection in a meditational state, where you feel like you connect with God, or all there is, whatever you want to call creator. Maybe you're out in nature, exploring nature with someone, and you experience oneness with nature, being one with the trees, and the natural resource that are our nature, as well as it is the nature of the animals. So sometimes we feel at home at places like this, and suddenly things can make sense on another level, which is not rational, but it's just there, and suddenly you understand the meaning of life without words, but just in a split second you feel one with all there is. So let's hope that is what you will experience. This was all for me this week, from a cul-de-sac here in Esbjerg with all the tall ships and interesting places. I wish you the best of luck. Hugs from your modern shaman. Bye. You know what? Don't follow trends, follow your heart. Thanks for watching, and remember to watch the collective report. So, welcome to another week with your modern shaman, Maria in RainbowLand. This time we're in Esbjerg, Denmark, at the tall ship race, which has been here a few times. So it's not the first time that you will see all these ships. If you stay tuned on the channel, you will see some coverage that I do, where you can see the different beautiful old ships, with flags from which countries they come. They're school ships, so they have a lot of young people with them from all over the world, coming here to this harbor, staying here for 3 days. But enough about that. If you continue after the program, you will see them. But this is an exciting week, to say the least. This is maybe one of the wildest weeks of the year, of this year, because we have a full moon, but it's not just an ordinary full moon, because it's a full lunar eclipse. This one lasts for 1 hour and 23 minutes. That is a lot. It's within 1 degree orb, so it's quite extreme, and this may be the most shifting times that we will feel this year. And it's not like it's in this particular point, and if you've been following the channel, you know that there has been so many changes altogether. We had a partial lunar solar eclipse 2 weeks ago, and we've had so many things going on. So as I have been saying all summer, this is no vacation time, because we are forced to change, definitely. And the interesting thing about this eclipse is that it's happening at 4.44 degrees of Aquarius. But I have promised for you guys, to you guys that aren't so familiar with astrology, that I really try to explain what it means when you don't know what the planets mean. Mars is the planet of action. It's our physical, you know, it's our wanting and desiring to do something. It's our self-esteem and, you know, assertive moving forward, getting things done, etc. But when it's moving backwards, it's not allowed to move forward. So this can cause irritability, you know, and attempts to, you know, suddenly rush out, etc. I've been talking about that for a while, but it will be intensified from now on until the 27th, when it actually occurs. It's in a T-square with Uranus. So this can be sudden changes and sudden shifts, because Uranus is sudden breakthroughs, it's sudden things happening. I hope the sound is okay. I chose to sit with my headphones, the best ones on, so that I am in control of that the sound doesn't suddenly fall out. The main thing is that this is the collective report. So here I will take the grand overview for all of us, but go into your personal sign and see where this affects you. And know that this is an overall thing. Because the changes that are happening in the sign of Aquarius, so it's important to find out what does the sign Aquarius mean to your sign. Because this is not like, okay, it's only affecting the Aquarius. It's affecting all of us, but in different areas of our lives. That's why I encourage you to go in and see your personal sun sign afterwards. But this report is important as well. Why is it so important? Well, it's important because if we want to manifest things in our life, we manifest through who we are, through the energy that we are. And you can only manifest through the lowest vibration of whatever you send out from your system. So what do I mean by that? By the way, this is a RainbowLand collection thing again. The orange. Well, couldn't help but say it. I hope I'm decent. I'm actually wearing shorts, so even though I look undecent, that's it. Okay, so imagine this. You can only manifest what you, first of all, of course, really want at a deep core level. But if you have anything blocking this want, something like, let's say that you want to find true love, but you have a coding inside of you saying, I don't deserve true love, because your mom or dad or someone at school bullied you and said, well, you're too stupid for anyone to love you when you were 10 years old. And it's stuck, but you repressed it because it was too hard for you to feel the feelings around it. Then every time you try to manifest this in your life, that it will come back to you, that thing that is programming you, and block it, because that has a lower vibration, it has a lower energy. Because of course, what we manifest is the highest vibration of joy. You know, if you have anything saying in your system or in your coding, in your whole auric field and your whole system, that says, stop anything that has to do with this, because I don't deserve this, then that's why that every time you try to build something in regards to this, it will shut down again, because you have this blocking. So why is it so good when we have the lunar eclipse or the solar eclipses or the big shifts happening in astrology? It's chances for us in our schedule to get into contact with these things and remove them. And so sometimes we need to be pressured out until such an extent that we just finally release and surrender and say, F it, I let go of it now, it doesn't matter. And then your ego, which is actually probably based upon fear, trying to protect you in some way, which is a malfunction. It's not supposed to be there anymore. But the minute you are surrendering to life itself and stop fighting or resisting this change and just say, F it, now everything is so shit, bleep, that you might as well just throw it out. That's the minute that the universe can work upon you and let it go. So try to find stability within You know, if you're searching for stability on the outside, you have to know that you can only manifest on the outside what you have on the inside. So you have to look inwardly, even though our patriarchal society has taught us that everything that can be proven on the outside, that if anyone else can see, is the only really existing thing. For some people it's hard to know, yeah, well, what does she mean by look within? Well, find quiet time, find stillness, find a way to stay in the moment without letting your thoughts take over. The mind is a tool, it's not you. So that's why I'm always opting for meditation or something that can keep you still. It doesn't have to be meditation. I'm always encouraging people to heartfulness because it's for free and there are free volunteers helping you. And that was the best thing for me, but for you it can be something else. But you have to learn to look within if you feel the chaos is too strong, if you feel the abrupt changes are too wild, because Uranus is involved. And you get irritable, but try not to react and try not to lash out too much this week. It's on the 27th, but it's been building since the last eclipse. You will definitely have felt the irritability around you, within you, and try not to take it too personal, because life is mirroring a lot to everyone. So you're probably mirroring something to someone else and they're mirroring something to you. So if they lash out and suddenly, you know, say a lot of things to you, oh, you shouldn't do that, and you feel like, well, this has nothing to do with me, then you're absolutely right. So in that moment, don't go into the fight, because that's what Mars wants. It wants to fight, it wants to be, you know, get its anger out, etc. But try to keep it calm, keep it cool, and not react. Meditate, breathe. Take it easy. And if you're afraid because you're like, well, I don't have a plan, I don't know what to do with my life. She's talking about manifesting things that we want, but I don't know what I want, etc. Then don't worry so much about what the plan is. Instead, know that you are the plan. I said that many times before, I know, but I always describe the horoscope as a schedule, as a plan. So there's no need to worry that the plan is not going as it's supposed to. I mean, don't you think that the stars are still having their orbits, cycles as they always did? Nothing has changed since you jumped into your schedule and started this life. It's all good. You have to learn to trust. You know, we've all been programmed to, you can't trust people, oh, you have to be careful, and oh, but that shuts out our hearts. So we need to try to open our hearts and trust this process, trust the process. That's what I would like to say. We wrote the song in 2000. It's a long time ago. Was it 5? I don't remember. It's called Ugly Duckling. You know, we have H.C. Andersen in Denmark, the famous fairy tale writer. He's very good. He wrote Ugly Duckling. And if you didn't read it, do it or read it out loud to your children. It's about a duck, swan, what do you call a swan kid? A baby swan, growing up in a duckling's family, so being different from everyone else, and therefore feeling outside, and finally, I won't tell the rest of the story if you don't already know it, most people do, but so we made this song. It's very appropriate for this eclipse. It was written through very hard times, and it goes like this. There is this angel saying, I'm gonna find my way back home. The secret is love, he said. You've got to lift yourself up, try again, one day you will break through. What you long for will find you. Through all the hard times. I'm a little afraid to sing out loud because there's so many people here. And I always seem to find a light in your eyes. We fall through sometimes. If it wasn't for the dying glows, we wouldn't feel the fire when it's really burning. All ugly ducklings turn white. So if you listen to the text, the point is that even through the hard times, there's always a light to find. We choose the glasses that we wear actually in the suitcase over there that you cannot see. I have a pair of pink glasses, heart-shaped for my partner, because we are both Pisces, Mercury. So we always like, oh, seeing this purple, you know, this pink world. And people ask me, how can you be so happy all the time? Well, because I chose that my world has a bright perspective, has a bright light. And it is a matter of perspective and choice. So if you are deep within a hole, try to release whatever's keeping you in the hole. Is it your parents that told you that you can only do this or only do that, and that's why you're in the hole? Or why are you in that hole? Ask that question first, and then trust that the answer will come. Trust is the answer here also a lot. Also, like me, you can see I got fear here, because when I sing that part that says through, I actually have to sing really loud, because I started to do it, but then the fear in me just came in and held back. So I came with an, you know, like through, and then, you know, my voice. So I'm also still, you know, getting shy. I have a lot of Virgo and Pisces, even though I'm an Aries a lot, and Libra. So I know that we are complex beings that has to overcome things, but sometimes it's also just about doing it. I mean, and also the thing about thinking about what other people think. So it's holding you back. That was also what held me back. It was a good example of that, because what does it matter what they think? I mean, if I had just stared, it would have sounded beautifully, and they would probably have thought that, oh, it sounds beautiful. Instead, they heard me like, trying and then getting shy. Well, that's also okay anyways. But just again, remember that, find out if what you walk around saying that you want, that's also the thing this eclipse could also reveal to you, you know, uncover, you know, the highest expression of you. So what is your path? Is it really what you always walk around saying that it is? You know, if you walk around saying that, I'm a professor, and what I want is that everything is in control, and you have to be able to prove everything in this life. Okay, this was an extreme example, but really deep down inside, you know that was just because your father dominated you or your mother dominated you. I'm getting a lot of father thing this time. We also have the sun moving into Leo, the sun being the masculine energy, by the way. And then, but really deep down inside, you're like, well, this professor thing is actually not really me. Well, I love this thing that I'm studying, but I don't feel like everything has to be in control, because I feel like it's blocking me. Then be true to that, you know. Or if it's like, oh, I should have a big family with 5 kids at least, because you were, and I should be a family mom, but really you're more the independent type that doesn't want that, then, you know, it's also a time where we can break free of such things. These are extreme examples, but it can also be smaller things that you need to look upon. But first, you have to know that every time you feel fear, that's what I did before when I was singing, don't look for comfort or stability or peace on the outside. Look within and find the peace within. Because it's there and you're like, no, I can't find it, I feel panic, okay. So sit with the panic, accept the panic, and then just overcome it. Then go through it and just know, remember my words, that I know the peace is in there. I know the stability is in there. It's just a matter of you. If you, let's say it's in a big room, and in the back of the room we have the peace, but there's some garbage on the way that you need to let go of, then remember that every time you meet the garbage, maybe fear comes up. Oh, but there's no peace. But then it's just like you moving further and further towards your higher self, your higher purpose, the highest expression of you. Removing the garbage. So try to trust and don't panic when things are changing now, because a lot of things probably are. So the sun is moving into Leo as well. So this is a joyful thing, right? On the 23rd, and we still have the opposition between Venus and Neptune. But I will talk more about these things in the personal sun signs. I won't say all of it here, because then you won't go into the personal sun signs. And you just go into the channel, you can find it there. I could also just leave a link actually to all the personal sun signs in this report, then you can just go down and click into it. I probably forgot something, but I like to, what I've thought about saying, but I like to just trust the process, because that's the whole point of that. I'm actually saying what I was meant to say in this report, because I just stay in the flow. That's where most things are revealed to us, because we are not in control and we are open in another way. Easy for someone with Venus and Mercury in Pisces to say. But not always easy to have Mercury in Pisces, though, must say. Thank you very much for watching, and remember to go into the personal sun signs, and first and foremost, as I always say, don't follow trends, follow your heart. The air here is so amazing. Next week I'll be at another place in Denmark, a very beautiful place. See you then. Your modern shaman Maria and RainbowLand checking out.
Sommer, du min, og jeg vild med dig. Summertime. Honey, solen danser, du og jeg. Hver evig eneste morgen, der går jeg i skoven. Jeg tager min gummier på, giver hunden snor og synger tra-la-la-la-la-la. Om det regner og sner, eller der sol for øjen, yeah. Så bider jeg stille bånd for dig, og ønsker dig lykke på vejen. Som nemlig for, du vil følges med mig. Fuldmånen stråler ned på dig. Måneskin, måneskin, måneskin. Har solen skinner på din vej. Luk den ind, luk den ind, luk den ind. Summertime. Sommer, du min, og jeg vild med dig. Summertime. Honey, solen danser, du og jeg. Hver evig eneste aften til kaffe, der bæller te og kobler hjernen fra til sød musik, der siger da-di-da-di-da-di-da. Om tiden er 3, eller jeg er på farten, oh yeah. Så sender jeg dig tusindvis af kram og tænker på alle de gange vi var på trangen. Vi to fik det væk til en sang. Fuldmånen stråler ned på dig. Måneskin, måneskin, måneskin. Har solen skinner på din vej. Luk den ind, luk den ind, luk den ind. Summertime. Sommer, du min, og jeg vild med dig. Summertime. Honey, solen danser, du og jeg. Sagde jeg til livet, gav slip på tanken, tog ej for givet. Fik det vi troede på, nu er det kommet. Vi skulle samme vej, og jeg kan slet ikke forstå, at du er her hos mig. Nej. Fuldmånen stråler ned på dig. Måneskin, måneskin, måneskin. Har solen skinner på din vej. Luk den ind, luk den ind, luk den ind. Summertime. Fuldmånen stråler ned på dig. Måneskin, Summertime, så du er min, og jeg er vild med dig. Summertime, honey, honey, solen danser, du og jeg. Hver evig eneste morgen, der går jeg i skoven. Jeg tager min gummier på, giver hunden snor og synger tar, la 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 la. Om det regner, sner eller der sol for oven, yeah, yeah. Så bider jeg stille vand for dig og ønsker dig lykke på vejen. Så nemlig for du vil følges med mig. Fuldmånen stråler ned på dig. Måneskin, måneskin, måneskin. Har solen skinner på din vej. Put den ind, put den ind, put den ind. Summertime, så du er min, og jeg er vild med dig. Summertime, honey, honey, solen danser, du og jeg. Hver evig eneste aften til kaffe. Summertime, så du er min, og jeg er vild med